recording earlier, but I hope that's okay. So holidays, yeah, they have been amazing, yes. We started talking about the holidays because we just mentioned the semester is starting, right? So yeah, lovely, lovely summertime, amazing. The best summer I've had in many years, especially just like I said, after 2-3 years of not going anywhere outside Taiwan. Very amazing. Yes. And yeah, now everybody's back to school. My kids are back to school. My younger daughter is out of her kindergarten and into the first grade in ENG. So yes, very exciting times. um, yeah, back to our semester. Um, this class is a little bit different from many other classes. Okay, because this is an e-learning class. E-learning class or distant learning class. So all of the class is going to be online. Okay, we are not going to have a meeting in the classroom. All of our classes are going to be online. A lot of the teaching is going to be it's called asynchronous. Asynchronous. I'm gonna type it, but if you don't know this word, it doesn't really matter. It means not at the same time. Synchronous means at the same time. Synchronous means at the same time. So now we are learning at the same time because I am here talking to you. You are also here. We are communicating at the same time. But if, for example, I create a video explaining something about financial management concepts and let you watch the video anytime you have time during the week before the next class. Of course, you're going to do it during the week sometime before the next class. Then that's asynchronous. It's still online, right? You still don't need to go to the classroom, but that's asynchronous. So this whole class is e-learning, distant learning. So this whole semester is going to be online. Some part of the semester is going to be in these Google Meets classes, which is synchronous learning. We're doing it at the same time. A big part of it is going to be asynchronous learning, where I'll post them video explanations and you'll have to watch them. You'll have to come up with your questions. If you have any questions, you can write to me by email, or you can ask anytime during our Google Meets classes, okay? And you will have to take your tests. I'm going to show you on Moodle, so if you're not sure what about those tests, what else, what is synchronous, asynchronous, don't worry about anything of that. I'm just giving you the introduction of the semester, but I'm going to show you the details on Moodle. Okay, so let's jump into Moodle then. I gotta share my screen somehow. Entire screen, let's try this and allow. Okay. Okay, now let's switch to Moodle. Scroll up a little bit. Okay, so let me ask you to make sure you see the same as I see. Do you guys see Moodle in front of you? Am I sharing it properly? Anybody?
Yes, Professor.
Sorry, I couldn't hear that. The internet connection not good. Say it again.
We can see it, Professor.
Okay, good. So, excuse me. Moodle, so a bit of a basics here. It's going to be a completely online class. If you have any questions, you can either find me personally in my office or send me an email or ask me in Google Classroom anytime. Okay, so this is today. We're going to start around 10 o'clock. Although our schedule is actually much earlier, but because much of the material is going to be asynchronous, where you're going to learn in your own time, we don't really have to start at 8:20. We're supposed to start at 8:20, right? Okay, so near the top of this Moodle, you have some basics over here, like my office hours. This is where you can and where and when you can find me. But I'm in my office most of the time, most of the days. So even if it's not my office hour, you can still easily find me usually in my office. Then a little bit about the learning objectives, what we're generally going to learn during the semester, assessment, that's how you're going to collect your points to pass the score, the course. Of course, you'll have exams, midterm exam, final exam, and tests. Okay. Some more contact information, how you can find me. You all have it already. You know how to find me. Most of you know how to find me. But I gotta have it here just in case. Okay. Plus, besides that, because it's an unusual course, it's an e-learning course, right? All of these materials, all of the Moodle records, all of the videos, that's why I decided to record this video, right? We didn't have to record the video actually, but I decided to record this video because all of this, I will have to submit that to the MOE, that's the Ministry of Education of Taiwan, okay? So that's the unusual thing about this class, right? So even if you know some of that information, for example, you know how to find me, it's still there, right? I need to have all the proper information about the course, even if you already have that, you already know that information, because all of that information, including the videos I record right now, all of that is going to go to the Ministry of Education. They're going to see how I run this e-learning course, if it's good enough, all right? Are they going to ask you if it's good enough? I don't know. Do they survey the students? I don't know. But if they're going to ask you, you know what to say. Do you? Anyway, so there'll be more materials over here. I'm going to put them on Moodle pretty soon. But for this week, what do we have for this week? So we have this PDF file, okay? And we have a couple of videos, as you see. Okay, the videos cover most of what's in the PDF file, but sometimes PDF files have more information, a little bit more information than you can find in the videos. So every week, what I suggest you to do is go through the PDF files. There is not much, there is not too much. Usually we will cover one chapter in 2 weeks. That's kind of slow actually. So per week you'll just flip through only half of the chapter, all right, for the PDF file. So I encourage you to go through the PDF files, even though you're going to watch the videos as well, for a couple of reasons. Firstly, because there is some additional information there, and secondly, because it's not much and it's asynchronous. So you choose your own time when you can do it anytime within the week before the next class. So you should be able to do that. Today's PDF file is extremely short because today's material is only introduction, nothing really difficult. Okay, so just to go through the introduction very quickly, my contacts, what do we want to learn about during the semester? We're going to look at financial statements. We're going to look at time value of money, right? They say, hey, come on, time's money, right? Or in Chinese, they say, correct me if I pronounce it incorrectly, but 时间就是金钱. Is that correct? Did I say it correctly? Any Taiwanese here? 时间就是金钱. Is that correct?
Yes. 时间就是金钱.
Say it again, I'll listen.
时间就是金钱.
Yeah, 时间就是金钱. So why do they say it? In English as well, they say, come on, time's money. We're going to talk about time value of money. And we're going to talk about bonds and stocks, and we're going to talk about analyzing investments. So all of that is actually going to be several chapters, enough for this semester. Ask your questions anytime. All of these rules are for Classroom, which it's an e-learning course, so it's not really relevant. And this is our actual plan for this semester. Okay, today is only introduction, so nothing really difficult. A little bit about What do managers do? So just some simple introduction to financial management. And starting from tomorrow, next week, we'll jump into more interesting things. And this week, you're not going to have your test, okay? But starting from next week, nearly every week, you will have your online test on Moodle. It's very important that you take them before the end of the week, okay? So here's the assessment. As I mentioned, I think the assessment I put on Moodle is a bit different. I'll have to change that. Like if I go back to Moodle, go to assessment over here, as you see, there are only 3 items here. But since then, I've changed my assessment, and here's the correct one in the introduction PDF document. Okay, so of course you're going to have your final exams. That's 30 points. Of course you're going to have your midterm exam. That's 30 points. And every week, you will have your test. Okay, except for today. Today you will not have a test because the things we're going to talk about today are going to be pretty easy. So let me show you an example of a test. Okay, if I go back to last semester, it already threw me out. If I go back to, let's say, last year, Financial Management 1, here. The first week, this is last year, no tests, only a forum. We have a forum this week as well. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And here, week 2, test 1. Week 3, test 2. Week 4, test 3, and so on. Nearly every week you have your tests. Okay, so let's go back to this semester now. So as you see here, week 1, we don't have a test, but you do have your forum over here. Okay, now let's go back to that introduction. So that's what it is. Every week you'll have a weekly test. Nearly every week. Not every week, but nearly every week. The semester lasts for 18 weeks. So if we have a test nearly every week, I don't know how many tests are we going to have. Maybe 12, 13, 14 tests, right? And I'm going to give 30 points to all of the tests together. So 30 divided by 12, that's something like 2.5, 3 points. So each test is about 2.5, 3 points. And remember, you need 60 points out of 100 points to pass this course, okay? So what I'm trying to say is that it's very important that you complete the weekly tests every week. And it's like a bit of a present for you, a bit of a gift for you, because you complete those tests at home. And you don't have any time limitation. You have a whole day to do that. And maybe you can get together with your friends and do the tests together. Or if you don't want to do them with the friends, open up all the books you can find on financial management. So that's a bit of a gift. It should be easy enough for you to collect those 30 points from those tests, but only if you do those tests in time, okay? You'll have a whole day to do the tests starting from next week. Today, no tests. But today you have this discussion forum. So let's go back to those slides again. This is it. The discussion and other activities, another 10 points. Also pretty important because during the semester we'll only have maybe discussions several times, maybe like 3 or 4 times. So again, each activity is about 2.5 to 3 points. So for this week specifically, what you're going to do, you will have to give us your opinion on the importance of financial management in your career. But if you try to click here, it's not available, okay, for you until you finish watching this video. So look, let's read this. Not available until the activity Intro to Financial Management is marked complete. So here's Intro to Financial Management. If you click here, this is our first chapter for today, okay? Once you finish watching this video, then Moodle over here, you see, activity is not complete yet. But once you finish watching this video, welcome to our first lecture in financial management.
In this lecture, we will have a brief introduction to financial management in general. Manager, what is the main goal? Evaluating or calculating. Why would you want to study finance? A lot of other levels as well, such as a treasurer.
So once you finish watching this video, Moodle will change this, saying that this is complete now. Now it's not complete. So once this is complete, going back here, this forum will become available for you. You enter the forum. Oh, how some students already give the answers before it's available. Maybe the Moodle is a little bit broken. I see students already giving the answers. Okay, that's cool. That's okay. That's okay. I guess Moodle is a little bit broken. Anyway, you enter here. I thought you will not be able to enter until that activity is complete. Anyway, you enter here. Something happening there. You enter here and you read the question. First, watch the introduction and intro to financial management videos. Then answer this question. How will learning financial management help you in your future career? Think a little bit about it. Think about it for 5 minutes. Then click here, reply, and add your reply. Later on, so far we have 1, 2, 3, 4 students replying. Okay? So remember, this is part of this assessment. Okay? If you guys are talking between your friends at home or chasing away your dog, remember to turn off the microphone. Remember to turn off the microphone. Okay? So this forum is part of this discussion. Make sure you do this. We're not going to have 20 forums, so each one forum is not important, only half a point. We'll only have maybe 3 or 4 discussion forums, so each discussion is pretty important. It's going to be around 3 points each, 2.5 to 3 points each. Make sure you complete everything in time. So there's that. Then what else? That's the last slide for here. And yes, I think that's it. So one more thing I could mention about the tests, starting from next week. The tests will have a mixture of questions, both multiple choice and like open-ended questions where you have to calculate the numbers and insert the number, typing it. You're not going to have a chance to choose it from a multiple choice options. But there will be also some multiple choice questions. So that'll be the tests, but that's from next week, no tests for today. That's mostly it. So what you're gonna do after we finish today's class is you're gonna watch these 2 videos and share your opinion on how financial management might be important in your future career. Okay, do that anytime you want, before the start of next week, so sometime this week. You got to do it sometime this week. Then I think that's mostly it what I wanted to introduce you to. So let me stop sharing, stop presenting, and open this class for your questions. Any questions? Is it clear what you generally have to do for this week? For this week, do you guys know what to do? Yes or no? Anybody? Yes or no?
Yes, perfect.
Good. In general, for the semester, not only this week, in general, is it clear what you have to do? The difference between today and the rest of the time is that you're going to have a test every week. Today you don't have it. The other time, you're going to have a test. So after other classes, next week and later, we're going to have a quick meeting. Then you're going to watch online videos for the detailed explanations. You're going to go through the PDF documents. Then you're going to remember to take those tests. There will be deadline. And it's not going to be like something manual. I'm going to set a deadline on Moodle. If you're past the deadline, the Moodle will not allow you to open the test. You'll have a 0 for that particular test. Okay, you don't need to be worried about each test because they're all in total account for 30 points, so each one of them is only 2.5 points or so. If you miss one test because, I don't know, you had to go see the dentist or whatever else, don't worry too much, it's only 2.5 points, but if you do have a chance, you got to collect those points. They're going to help you a lot to pass the test, to pass the course. Let's see. I'm reading some comments here. Generally, yes. So I guess we know what to do, but I have some problem not able to see this course in Moodle. I hope okay, I see. So some students might have joined later than others. Some students might have enrolled a little bit later than others. So Isha will take time to add you to the Moodle of this course. So I hope in the next couple of days you will see this course in your Moodle page. Okay? But today, this week, it should not be a problem because we don't have a test today and you don't have a very strict deadline. About the forum, okay, the forum doesn't really have a automatic deadline set. So what I'm going to do is I will have to collect your entries into the forum. I'm going to have to collect your opinions that you write in the forum. And let's say I'm not going to do it this week. Maybe I'm going to do it in, I don't know, let's say week 3. I don't need to rush with that. So if I collect your replies in week 3 and then grade them, give you a score, after that I'm not going to come back to that forum. So even if you answer, put your opinion there, not now, but after week 5, let's say, you're not going to get a score for that, a grade for that. You're still going to get 0. So for today, even if you don't see this course in your Moodle, don't worry. Hopefully in the next 2-3 days, Isha will add it to your Moodle page. You'll have to go to that forum anytime within the next, I don't know, couple of weeks. Okay, a couple of weeks later, I'll collect all the replies, put the grades into my Excel sheet, and I will not have to go back to that forum and recheck. Oh, do we have new replies? This student, has he replied before or not? Is this a student? How about this student? How about this student? I don't want to do that again. So make sure you put your replies into that forum sometime within the next couple of weeks. Okay, and we only have 18 students here. There are 19 participants. One of them is me, so I guess 18 students. If you have friends who are not in this class right now online, who don't hear about this forum, tell them, okay, that they have a couple of weeks to answer that question on financial management. Anything you want to ask me? Any of the new students, do you know how to find me? You can find me in the IC building on the 7th floor, IF department. Okay, I have a comment here. I haven't seen the PPT that you used in the second video. Can you upload it? Oh, that's a great comment. Yes, I will upload it. I'll put the PDF file there. I'll put the PDF file there in within 10 minutes after we finish this class. That's a great question. Okay, so sometimes we see really good questions. So don't be shy to ask your questions. Okay, sometimes I do understand you. I'm the same, right? I might think that if I go to a meeting of all the like important professors, I might think that my questions might be too simple. My questions may be too simple, but it's not really correct. It's not the correct way to think about your input, about your questions. We have 18 students here, right? And if you have a question, if you didn't get something, don't think that it's too simple of a question. Maybe out of 18 students, there are 5 other students who also got the same question but are also shy to ask. So if you ask your question, you help yourself, you help me to explain something a little bit easier, a little bit more clearly, and you help other classmates to ask those same questions to get a better explanation. So sometimes it's not the question that's faulty. Sometimes I do speak very fast. Sometimes I speak fast. And it's quite okay to have questions. Right? Anything else? So, you said that we don't have to go to classroom. In this case, where should we go to study? Oh, I guess hard to answer this question. Anywhere you can find a place. So, how we're gonna like teach and learn during this semester? We're gonna have classes like this in Moodle. Okay, that will be maybe 1/3 of the materials or less. 2/3 or more is going to be video explanations and PDF documents. So you're going to go through that. And where you have to learn is anywhere you find time. I would suggest studying at home, or I would suggest studying in some common room in your dormitory. When I was a student, I used to do my homework together with my other classmates. That helped me really a lot. At the beginning of the semester, I tried to do it myself, and I didn't manage as good as I did together with my other classmates. So I suggest you find a place that you and your friends can gather together, do the tests together, and that'll help you a lot. Okay, that'll really help you a lot, especially if your English is not so great. You get together with the students, with the friends whose English is a little bit better. They can help you with the tests. Okay, so where should we go to study? So that's that. I'm not sure. You can choose any place that is convenient for you. As I know, we don't have internet in dorm. Okay, you don't have the internet in the dormitory. Wow, is that true? I don't know. I've never been to the not IC, Isho University dormitories. So does any one of you guys know? Is there internet in the dormitory?
Yeah, we have, but maybe she is new.
I see. Okay, so good to know. There is internet in the dormitory. Okay, so that's good. Okay, well, we have internet in dorm. Okay, there is that. Oh, thank you. There's that as well. By the way, midterm and final exam will be online. Yes. So this whole course is an e-learning course. So midterm and final exams will also be online. The way that you will take those exams online is that I'm going to post an Excel file with questions on Moodle. You will download that Excel file with questions, enter your answers, do the calculations in that file, enter your answers, and upload the Excel file back to Moodle. And I will download all the Excel files from all of the students and do the grading. And because it's an exam, you will not be supposed to help each other too much. Of course, you can help each other because it's online and I cannot stop you from doing that. But because it's an exam, you're not supposed to help each other too much. I will give you a deadline, very strict deadline, let's say a couple of hours to complete the whole exam, so that you don't have time to help each other too much. Okay? So that's how the exams will take place. By the way, final exam online. In this case, is it compulsory to open camera? I think it's not compulsory. Yes, it's not compulsory. Of course, if everyone turns on the cameras, the environment will be so much better. We can have a chat more freely. I can kind of, for me, it will be easier to communicate if I see the people, but it's not really required. It's not required. Open the camera now. Okay. Right? Any other questions? So if you don't have a camera, that's no problem. You can type. Of course, you've got to have the speakers to listen. But to ask your questions, it's good to have a microphone because sometimes you'll have a chance to answer my questions. But in the worst case scenario, even if you don't have a microphone, I guess you could type your questions as you do now. Okay. So there's that. Anything else about this course? Anything else on how to find me? Anything else on asking questions? So, we're not going to meet on Google Meets every day, right? So, if you have any questions, you can send me an email, all right? Or you can ask your questions through the information system on eShow. That's even better than email, okay? Information system on eShow is even better than email because it lets the university record our activity, our course activity as well. So that's even better. Okay. Anything else? So that's it for our online meeting. But you have your videos to go through. I will upload the PDF slides of the first chapter within the next 10 minutes. You can go through that as well. And you have your forum replies, but you'll have a couple of weeks for that. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Anybody? Bye-bye.
Bye, Professor.
Bye-bye.